Hey guys, Dave here from Wolf in the Wild Survival. Welcome back to Dave's Den. A lot of my friends, some subscribers, a lot of my family, for sure. When I go out and I do a lot of overnight camping, or even extended camping trips into basically what would amount to bear, wolf, and cougar country, or even coyote and whatnot. A lot of my family members ask me if I'm nuts. A lot of my friends and some subscribers have asked me, what do you take with you to protect yourself? Okay, well, for starters, the Canadian gun laws are absolutely nuts. Okay, we're not allowed to do anything. And just to give you an example, I was in where I live most of the time, London, Ontario. I was in the woods, just sort of on the outskirts of the city, but I'm still technically within city limits. My buddies and I were paintballing. We were having a little bit of fun with our paintball guns. And we had my vehicle parked on the side of the road. Somebody called the cops and said, "Hey, I think somebody's stolen and ditched a vehicle." So the cops come down and they recorded down the license plate and they ran they ran the plate and they found what my address was. And then they went to my address to see if I was there, to tell me, hey, is your vehicle supposed to be there, whatever. Well, by this time, my friends and I were running out of air, we were running out of paintballs, we packed everything up, and we went back to my place. We were going to change out of our paintball gear and go off and do something else. And as I'm pulling in to the driveway, the cops are about to pull out, and they see me in the vehicle. They were just trying to check out, so they sort of pulled me over and they were talking to me. And I said, "Oh, no, my friends and I were just paintballing in the woods." And the cop said, "Do you realize that it's illegal to discharge a paintball gun anywhere within the London city limits?" Well, if I knew that I was breaking the law, would I be admit to breaking the law? The cop said, "I guess not." And I said, "Well, no, I didn't know that. We're not even allowed to shoot at each other with paintball guns." How? Wow. So, now here's the weird thing. I can take my hand crossbow into the woods to protect myself with, as long as I'm not firing it off for any other reason. Like, I'm not allowed to hunt with it without a hunting license, and I'm not allowed to, even target shoot with it, because you're not allowed to do that either within the city limits, kind of whatever. So, when I am going into the woods, if I don't take the crossbow, or sometimes even if I do, I will take my, what is it? Cold Steel? No, it's not. United Cutlery. The M48? So I can't even remember that. Wow, I really should have waited to do this video, eh? I'm pretty sure it's the M48 tactical spear. It's a boar spear. Okay, that's all. It's just a boar spear, basically. So, being that I can't, play with it in the woods, because it's freezing cold out and it's snowing and blowing like crazy, and my cameras don't do well in the cold anyway because the batteries are getting old, we're just going to sit down and talk about it a little bit. That's what we're going to do today. There's maybe another reason too, which I'll talk about. Okay, so I'm 6 feet tall, and it comes to just a little above my navel. I don't know. Might be different if I wasn't so fat. Not doing as much this winter as I should be. Oh yeah, it says right here on the blade, the M48 Talon tactical spear from United Cutlery. Alright, let's sit down. Now, first of all, I actually did watch a lot of videos on this specific item before I did this video. I didn't want to do just a repeat of what everybody else was doing. So I watched a bunch of videos. I tried to, maybe come up with a way that mine could be a little bit unique. And, well, for the most part, I guess this is really the only way to be unique about this video, is to be completely, totally unprepared for this video and don't throw it at a bunch of stupid crap. So that's what we're doing. Okay. Now, first of all, it's comfortable. The grips on it are nicely placed. The jimping, I guess, if it was on a knife, it would be jimping. It's a little bit short, but then again, I'm 6 feet tall and I've got long monkey arms on me, so I don't know, for other people it might not be so bad. It's a little short for me. Down at the end, it's got a nice, comfortable grip area if you wanted to, I don't know, use it as a knife for some stupid reason. I like this. The rest of it, this I like. It's tough, it's durable, it is lightweight, it's got kind of that badass tactical kind of look to it, but it fits nicely, snugly over the blade. It snaps into place really well. Like it's not a snap, but it's, well, apparently not. It's never happened to be doing that before, but then again, I've never felt the need to grab a hold of it and shake the crap out of it like that. But certainly, when, yeah, it will. Okay, so I've had this for a couple of years, and it is starting to loosen up a little bit, but nevertheless, when it's on, and you're carrying it around through the woods, it's on. You're not likely going to lose that really at all. So, I like the case. The blade. Nice, robust. Not really, like, it's not super sharp, and even if you sharpen it, it's not really going to stay sharp at all. But it's not a knife. It's not supposed to be. It's the sharp point is here, and then it's supposed to have, some edge to it to assist in the piercing kind of thing. But you don't slash with something like this. As for the type of metal, it's like 2CR13 or something like that. It's the Chinese version or the Japanese version? Where does it? China. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. It's kind of hard to see. Oh, that's just a serial number and then stainless China. Okay. It's kind of the Chinese version of 420 stainless steel. So, it's crap. It's a softer kind of stainless steel. It's not very good. I've seen so many of these things get damaged because these guys are just hurling. They're throwing this spear at trees and this and that, whatever, pots and soup cans and kind of whatever. And now, to be honest, my first impression was, you guys you're not that bright, because you're throwing your weapon away. You know, if you have an animal that's, you know, bothering you, or a person, or whatever, you know, in a bad situation, you've got, you know, some crazy axe murderer, you know, you don't throw your spear, especially a little thing like this. I mean, this isn't really meant to be thrown. This is more of a small hand spear. It's not like a javelin. So why would you throw your weapon away? So, you know, I mean, you're sticking it into trees and all kinds of crazy crap. Why in the world would you do that? But then, you know, after thinking about it for a minute, well, in a way, yeah, I mean, it's not the brightest thing to do to throw your weapon at somebody, and, you know, if you miss, now you have no weapon, which they can pick it up and use it against you. That's just great. But the idea of them damaging the blade because they're throwing it into things, well, if I have a bear on me and I take this thing and I whale it into a bear, there's a pretty good chance I might hit a bone in there somewhere. Okay, and I mean, if this blade will not hold up to a pine tree of all things, softwood, without bending, it's going to break on a bone. It's going to, you know, so their test isn't entirely without merit. So I don't like the steel. I don't like the steel at all. It's so dry down in this basement. Just crazy. The handle. Now, as I said before, you know, I mean, I kind of like, you know, where the grips are and whatever. I kind of like, you know, it's yeah. It's 30% fiberglass nylon handle, which is a pretty strong material. It's not bad. It is a pretty good material. The handle, it's a little bit thin. It's a little bit narrow. It could be a little bit more robust, give it a little more strength. But I mean, it is, you know, kind of sort of egg-shaped, oval. So I'm assuming if you use it in a proper way, it's not going to be too bad. But all in all, you know, if I'm going to be moving this thing around like this, I better put this back on. I don't want to have to be doing first aid on myself in the middle of a video. So anyway, yeah, it's a pretty good, strong material. Unless you're out in cold temperatures. If this stuff gets below freezing, it gets fairly brittle. And by fairly, I mean if you mess around with it in freezing temperatures, it will snap. So if you're, I don't know, a Canadian, you can't use it half the year. Oh man, like really? And now, I don't generally take it with me when I'm winter camping anyway, because I have an axe. I mean, if I have the axe, I probably don't take this at all. I don't generally take the axe during the summertime because I don't have to process that much firewood in the summertime, so I don't need that weight added to my pack. And this is, you know, a nice substitute for self-defense anyway. Now, I know that several companies make versions of this. I think Schrade makes one, and it's like the handle is almost twice the length of this one here. And then I think Cold Steel makes a decent one too. There's probably multiple ones out there. I would say that something like this here might well be worth buying, but I would not get the M48 Talon again. If I had the opportunity, I would not buy it. I don't like the steel. I don't like the length of the handle necessarily. It could be a little bit longer. I'm not incredibly fond of the fact that I can't use it, you know, half the year in Canada, because, you know, even when it isn't freezing cold, like through the daytime and you go camping and whatnot, it is still pretty cold at night. Most of the time you got an animal bothering you, there's a pretty good chance they're going to be around at night. So, you know, I mean, if I got a bear, a cougar, something like that, sniffing around my tent, messing around my campsite, you know, kind of doing whatever, and I have to defend myself in some way, shape, or form, especially in the dark, I would like something with a bit of reach. But, I mean, if I go to use it and it breaks because it's too cold out at night, then what's the point in spending the money? I might as well just feed the money to the bear and hope it won't eat me. Now, as I said, the idea of a tactical spear isn't really okay. The idea of a boar spear. I don't know why I said tactical. Black and cool is not tactical. I don't know where we started using that word for, you know, crap like this, but it's ridiculous. Okay, so a hand spear or a boar spear or something along the lines of, you know, this here isn't such a bad idea if the handle is reliable in the range of temperatures that you might need to use it in where you live, and the steel isn't garbage. Incidentally, I looked at the specs on all the other M48 gear that United Cutlery has. It's all the same metal. It's all cheap, garbage, soft stainless steel. Which is a shame, because they got some really, really neat stuff. They got hand axes and war hammers, and they got Yari, and they've got longer spears, and they got a couple of different kinds of war hammers. They got all kinds of stuff. It's so many cool things. It would look really good on a wall, let me tell you, but I would not want to be taking it to a campsite and having it fail on me when I needed it the most. So, all in all, I like the idea of a hand spear, a short spear, a boar spear, whatever you want to call it. I just don't really think that the money that I spent on this was actually well worth the expenditure. It's just another thing to hang on my wall as part of my collection, and that's what it's turned into. That's pretty much that for this video. Now, I'm sorry that I'm not out in the woods doing all kinds of, you know, crazy ninja flips and throwing it at trees and smashing it against firewood and rocks and all kinds of, you know, crazy crap. But one, I know it will break and I don't want to ruin it. You know, I'll just hang it on my wall because it does look really, really nice. And in the summertime, it could be somewhat useful, I guess. And also, like I say, it's just freezing and snowing and blowing, and it's not good for, you know, filming, so I can't really get out and do any of that anyway. Other than that, hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Stay wild, folks.